You said you'd partner with her and give her $100 million. That's the biggest offer that she's gotten. So
if she would have let me be her agent, I would have in a second. And if she's like, I'll start a new league with you, I would get her whatever you want.
Breaking news. Caitlin Clark just got hit with an offer so massive, it's sending shockwaves through the entire WNBA. Dave Portnoy, alongside a team of billionaire investors, has reportedly dropped a $100 million deal on the table. But here's the catch. It's only if Clark decides to walk away from the league. This isn't gossip, and it's definitely not speculation. It's a real game-changing business move that could rewrite the future of women's basketball forever. Bold, disruptive, and laser-focused on one name, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin would start her own league with you. I'd give her $100 million, and I have as many billionaires as you needed to start a league.
Portnoy, like millions of fans who actually see what's happening, understands the truth the WNBA refuses to say out loud. This league only thrives because of Caitlin Clark. Period. Without her, the ratings crash, the ticket sales disappear, and the media spotlight fades. Yet instead of protecting their biggest star, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has spent the season undermining her, downplaying her impact, ignoring the cheap shots she's taken, and letting envy spread unchecked. That's why Portnoy's move isn't just a business deal, it's a statement. He's saying exactly what fans have been shouting all season. Caitlin, you don't need them. Build your own empire. If you've ever believed Clark should walk away and let the WNBA face the chaos on its own, tell us what you think in the comments below.
Caitlin Clark said, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home and I'm starting my own league. The WNBA would be done in 2 seconds. You don't think Caitlin Clark could line up billionaire investors and start and just get all these players to come with her if they're going to pay a lot more? Of course she would, but for some reason they want to alienate her. It's like they want her to suffer coming in. You just never seen anything like it where the commissioner doesn't seem to value the stars or the golden.
But here's where things get really interesting, and this wasn't some off-the-cuff rant from Dave Portnoy. It was strategic, deliberate, and built on a plan. He's not tossing around numbers just to grab attention. He's laying out a legitimate roadmap for Caitlin Clark to start her own basketball league. The math checks out, the investors are lined up, and for Cathy Engelbert, that's a terrifying thought, because it actually makes sense. You can tell by his tone, this wasn't a rant, it was a pitch. And after hearing it, you can't help but wonder, is Clark already considering it? If she accepts this deal, it wouldn't just mark the end of a WNBA chapter. It could signal the downfall of Engelbert's entire reign. And if you know Portnoy, you know one thing. He doesn't bluff. The man built an empire by turning controversy into profit. He's loud, unapologetic, and when he says something on national TV, he delivers. That's why this isn't just noise. It's a real threat to the WNBA's future. Portnoy has a history of transforming bold visions into billion-dollar realities, and now he's aiming that power directly at a league already cracking under its own poor leadership. For the first time ever, the WNBA might be facing an opponent with the money, the influence, and the fan base to truly challenge them.
Talks like if you get the money lined up and you get the superstars, like, oh, you can only make $1 million here, you can make 5 with our league. I think it would work.
I mean, when she was golfing, originally when she did that little celebrity golf thing, it wasn't going to be televised, and there were so many people emailing them saying, like, can we see this? Like, how can we see this? And then all of a sudden it was on television. And so even that in itself, it's like, Caitlin, she hit somebody with the golf ball.
Yeah,
that's like, she's not, you know, it's not like she's this phenomenal golfer. That, no offense, Caitlin, but like
she would be top 3. Like, if I could just be like, hey, I want Barstool to rep you and have the rights to like use your marketing, and she would top the line, male, female, any. I believe that's how powerful she really.
Before we dive into every detail of Dave Portnoy's pitch, let's rewind for a second, because this offer didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's the direct consequence of the WNBA's failure to respect and protect the very player who carried them to their most successful season ever. Under Cathy Engelbert's leadership, the league has been completely tone deaf, and her latest mistake might have finally crossed the line. Just days ago, Minnesota Lynx star Nafisa Collier dropped a bombshell during her exit interview, a revelation that exposed everything wrong with how this league is being run. Collier revealed a private conversation with Engelbert that should have never left the room, but once it did, it made the league's leadership look worse than ever. According to Collier, Engelbert told players they should be grateful for everything she's supposedly done for them. That kind of arrogance alone can destroy a commissioner's credibility. But the story doesn't stop there.
I sat across from Cathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights.
According to Nafisa Collier, Kathy Engelbert didn't stop there. She reportedly went on to say that Caitlin Clark should be grateful to the WNBA, claiming that every endorsement, sponsorship, and dollar Clark makes is only possible because of the league. Just think about that. The commissioner of a struggling organization trying to take credit for the fame, hard work, and cultural impact of the very player who saved her job. Let's be honest, that's one of the most delusional and self-centered statements ever made by a sports executive. It's not just disrespectful, it's downright insulting to the fans, the sponsors, and most importantly, the athlete who single-handedly brought women's basketball into the mainstream spotlight. Caitlin Clark didn't rise to global superstardom because of the WNBA. The WNBA became relevant because of Caitlin Clark, and the moment that quote hit the internet, the backlash was instant. Social media exploded, and fans everywhere started calling for Engelbert's resignation.
Driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
Then came the twist that sent the entire situation spiraling. As fans were still reacting to Kathy Engelbert's out-of-touch comments, a new question started flooding sports talk shows and social media. Was there even a grain of truth to what she said? That curiosity quickly turned into a full-on investigation. Analysts started digging through TV ratings, sponsorship data, ticket sales, and revenue charts. And what they found completely shattered the league's narrative. The evidence didn't support Engelbert's claim. It exposed just how wrong she really was.
Do you give Kathy Engelbert credit for the TV deals that she has struck, or does all this kind of lead to her demise?
No, I give her no credit for anything she struck, because as far as I know, it was a struggling league until this new class of rookies came out. And I mean, listen, this may say a lot about my WNBA knowledge. If you threw Asia Wilson's name at me like 2 years ago, I'm not sure I really would have known who that is. I certainly would have known who Nafisa Collier is. Like, yes, I knew the bigger stars, and those are as big, but like I'm talking to Diana Taurasi, but I wasn't locked in on this league. Everything has changed.
That's when Dave Portnoy stepped in and landed the knockout punch. His response wasn't emotional or over the top. It was precise, cutting straight through the WNBA's PR narrative. He said it plainly. The WNBA's been around for decades, and no one cared. No one watched. No one bought tickets. Then Caitlin Clark arrived, and suddenly the entire world started paying attention. It was blunt, it was unapologetic, and the best part, he wasn't wrong. The numbers prove it.
Ratings show it, the interest shows it, we're talking about it. You turn on Fox Sports, you talk, or ESPN, they talk about the WNBA a lot. That was never the case like 3-4 years ago.
I mean, last season was insane, and you can look at the ratings too. And I think there was like the fevered numbers actually were better than some NBA teams' numbers when it came to viewership last season. And so, like, the numbers are there.
Just take a look at the Indiana Fever's numbers this season. They weren't just impressive, they were historic. Some of their games actually outdrew NBA broadcasts in viewership. Let that sink in. A rookie leading what used to be a struggling franchise pulled in bigger audiences than established men's teams. That's not media hype, that's reality. Whenever Caitlin Clark steps on the floor, arenas sell out. Sponsors rush in, and every camera in the building turns her way. But when she's not playing, the buzz disappears instantly. The league can deny it all they want, but acting like Caitlin Clark isn't the driving force behind the WNBA's explosion is like pretending gravity doesn't exist.
About Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Instead of embracing the phenomenon in front of her, Kathy Engelbert keeps trying to suppress it. Her leadership has turned into a masterclass in insecurity. Rather than building the league around its undeniable superstar, she's spent the entire season insisting the WNBA doesn't need her, desperately clinging to the illusion of parity that simply isn't there. That kind of ego is how empires collapse. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She's a generational talent, the once-in-a-lifetime spark every sport dreams of. But instead of celebrating her impact, Engelbert seems afraid of it. Sure, it might feel uncomfortable that one player holds this much influence, but that's also the greatest gift the WNBA has ever been handed. A smart commissioner would have seized the moment, improved officiating, enhanced broadcasts, and treated the fans like true partners in the league's growth. Engelbert did the opposite. Pride won out over progress. And now, with Dave Portnoy waving a $100 million offer in Clark's direction, she's facing the fallout of her own arrogance. Because here's the truth, the WNBA didn't make Caitlin Clark famous. Caitlin Clark made the WNBA matter. And if she walks away, she takes everything with her. The fans, the sponsors, the cameras, and the spotlight.
These are the same players who have essentially tried to run Caitlin and her fans out of this league, including me. I don't make it about me, but if you recall, and I will make it about me, when I went to the Fever Chicago game, they launched an investigation saying I was doing monkey calls, which is the most outrageous thing in the history of the world because of the Jumbotron, and a league that'll say Indiana Fever fans are bad and we're doing investigations with no proof, no nothing, and have never stuck up for Caitlin. And you've had players be like, it's not about her, why she get all the attention, but then they don't complain when they get private planes from Caitlin in the new media deal.
What's truly shocking is how blind the league remains to the reality staring them in the face. They've been handed a golden opportunity, and somehow they're managing to destroy it. Instead of celebrating the player who revived their relevance, they're publicly undermining her and ridiculing her fans. It's corporate self-sabotage in action, like watching someone saw through the branch they're sitting on and then brag about how well they did it. This level of delusion is exactly what sparked Dave Portnoy's viral move. His $100 million offer wasn't some impulsive stunt. It was the tipping point for every fan who's watched the WNBA repeatedly stumble over its own ego. He simply said aloud what everyone already knew: the league doesn't deserve Caitlin Clark.
Alienated an entirely new fan base, and it's almost like the old guard have consistently, we want the credit, we don't want to share in the pot. So Nafisa is correct, and she's been saying those things from the jump, but I find it curious, a lot of the players who don't seemingly equate embracing all these new fans with bigger contract deals, bigger money, are now agreeing with her. It's both. The referees stink. Everything about the league, the way they run it and market it, stink. The way they treat their fans, stink. So all of this is...
And make no mistake, Portnoy's move wasn't driven by sentiment, it was calculated. He sees what Kathy Engelbert refuses to acknowledge. Women's basketball is exploding in value. The attention, the viewership, the engagement, everything is climbing. For an investor, that signals a massive opportunity. He likened it to getting in early on a market about to skyrocket. Whether in tech, crypto, or sports entertainment, in his eyes, Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a cultural and financial phenomenon, a revolution ready to be built around.
Dave, right now amongst the billionaire class, sports seem to be like the next big investment wave, right? Especially with all other entertainment kind of going AI. Like, this is going to be where human beings are still telling stories on the field, on the court, where everybody wants to put in their money.
Unlike the bureaucrats running the WNBA, Portnoy actually has a plan. He didn't toss out a flashy headline just to grab clicks. He presented a complete business model, a league that properly markets its stars, delivers competitive basketball, and respects fans' time and money. His approach was simple: put Caitlin Clark at the center, and everything else falls into place. The demand is already there. The league just refuses to meet it. You don't need an economist to see the equation. Caitlin Clark means packed arenas, national headlines, and TV ratings that can rival the NBA. Build a league around her, and the revenue practically generates itself. That's what makes Portnoy's proposal such a threat to the WNBA establishment. This isn't a pipe dream, in its plain business sense. His pitch acted like a mirror, forcing Kathy Engelbert to confront what she's been denying all along. Without Caitlin Clark, there's no product to sell.
You gotta clean up the league. The refereeing is atrocious, and you can't.
What do you think is the change there?
You got to let your superstars be superstars. You can't let your best players be getting mugged. Freedom of movement, things like that. Like, people don't want to. There's a reason why everyone's hurt. Like, like, protect your players. Like, it's not in the NBA. Yeah, okay, fine. In the beginning, like, Jordan was getting hammered, but like, you don't want.
But they changed the rules.
Correct. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to be like, we want Caitlyn or Paige to shine. Like, that helps the game. Let your superstars be superstars. That's what we want to see.
Then came the moment that left everyone stunned. Portnoy shifted from talking about the league to speaking directly to Caitlin Clark. He compared her current sponsorship earnings to what she could make partnering with him, and by his calculations, her current deals are just pocket change compared to the potential on the table. The message was unmistakable. She doesn't need the WNBA. The WNBA needs her, and for anyone doubting his ability to back it, Portnoy had proof ready. Billionaires are already lined up, eager to invest the second Clark says yes. Investors who see that women's basketball could be a global powerhouse if someone competent were running it. This isn't a publicity stunt, it's a full-scale takeover in the making. Step back and look at the bigger picture. Portnoy isn't bluffing, he's dead serious. For the first time, Caitlin Clark holds complete leverage. She could reshape the sport overnight, walk away from the WNBA, launch her own league, and every fan, sponsor, and camera would follow. Fans don't rally around the league. They follow her. She is the league's oxygen. Without her, the entire system flatlines.
Caitlyn would start her own league with you. I'd give her $100 million, and I have as many billionaires as you needed to start a league.
Which brings us to the question on everyone's mind. What does Caitlin Clark actually think? Has she responded? Is she even considering it? For now, she's remained silent. No official statement, no hint of a decision. Portnoy himself noted that she seems completely locked in on her WNBA mission, focused on her teammates, the Fever, and winning. That kind of dedication is exactly what makes her extraordinary. She's still giving everything to a league that consistently takes her for granted, but even loyalty has its limits. Every slight, every missed call, every condescending remark from Kathy Engelbert pushes her closer to the exit. The clock is ticking for the WNBA to make things right before their superstar decides she's done. Because while Caitlin Clark continues to play with heart and humility, the league's leadership keeps proving again and again that they don't deserve her.
Very rarely, if ever, publicly says anything that, like, should cause any waves. She's kind of like been a good trooper for the Fever, and
now the WNBA finds itself at a critical crossroads. One path, rebuild, put your superstar at the center, and finally treat Caitlin Clark as the foundation of the sport. The other, keep pretending the league is the reason for her fame, and watch her take her fans, sponsors, and billion-dollar influence to someone who actually values her. If Caitlin Clark ever says yes to that $100 million offer, it won't just make headlines. It will send shockwaves through professional sports. It would be poetic justice. The league that disrespected her brought to its knees by the very player they tried to diminish. It would be the ultimate lesson that you can't build a future by alienating your present. So, what's your take? Should Clark keep carrying a league that keeps holding her back, or walk away and redefine the game forever? One thing is clear, the power no longer rests with the commissioner. It's in Caitlin Clark's hands. And if she ever decides to wield it, the WNBA as we know it won't survive the impact. Like, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you next time.